Vending machines are incredibly strong. It takes 9 rockets and a few hits with a jackhammer to destroy them. This makes them stronger than sheet metal walls. In the Mini Frustrator 2, I used them to protect the window that leads to the tool cupboard. If the window is protected by a reinforced glass window and vertical embrasures, the slits of the embrasures are covered. The slits, however, are what you aim at to splash both the embrasure and the glass window at the same time. This means, thanks to the vending machines, our first 4 rockets can only damage the embrasures but not the glass window. This increases the number of rockets that raiders have to spend to 8 before they are able to destroy the TC. That was the idea, at least. It turns out that this approach has a flaw. Rockets shot above the rear vending machine sometimes damage both the embrasure and the reinforced glass window. This would allow raiders to destroy the TC with fewer than 8 rockets. So I went back to the drawing board to find a fix. This is what I came up with. I changed the position of the vending machines so that they fully cover the window. Instead of vertical, I used horizontal embrasures. They prevent splash damage from reaching the glass window behind them if rockets are shot above the vending machines. I have not found any way to damage the reinforced glass window at the same time as the vertical embrasure, neither with explosive ammo nor with rockets. This means destroying the TC requires 8 rockets, retrieving its loot 9 to 10 rockets. At this point, you may wonder how you are supposed to access the TC. Let's walk up to the side of the vending machine. Search for a bit until it says open. And voila, we're accessing the TC. If the TC is facing the corner from which you want to access it, as in this example, you can even reach the code lock. Just to be clear, without the reinforced glass window, the splash damage of a single rocket will break the TC. Of course, raiders will need another 7 to 9 rockets to retrieve its loot. But losing the TC allows raiders to grief the base. Thus, always keep it covered with a reinforced glass window and a vertical embrasure. No worries, you can pick up both by taking out the hammer and looking at the same spot on the vending machine. The only downside is, I haven't yet found a way to repair the glass window. You have to craft a new one for 50 metal fragments whenever you want to close off the TC. At times, you may have trouble accessing the tool cupboard because you only see the option to rotate the vending machines. If this happens, just fill the vending machine with at least one item. One outstanding property of this design is that it denies raiders intelligence about what is behind those vending machines. You are aware that they hide a TC. However, they could be equally likely to hide something else, like a fridge. A more useful application would of course be to use them as cover for a loot room with large boxes. The upper ones are quite easy to access. The lower ones require looking in the area next to those screws, which I find not very intuitive. Yep, that's a loot room with an 8-rocket door. The build is quite simple. For the TC, make sure that it is not too far away from the window. Remember, if you want to be able to access the code lock, place it facing the corner from which you want to access it. The downside of this placement is that you won't be able to climb into this triangle to upgrade the foundation, so make sure you don't forget that. Before you continue, make sure everyone is authorized. For the loot room, it's basically the same. Deploy 4 boxes onto a shelf. The trick is to position them as close to the window frame as possible. Alternatively, you can use a half-height floor tile. If you wish the boxes to be unlootable, if the embrasures or the window frames are off, code lock the boxes and have everybody authorized. The placement of the vending machines is that simple. Make sure that they are parallel to the window frame. For the first one, align its right side with the right side of the window frame. Then take a second vending machine and place it as close as possible to the first. While I haven't seen this very specific concept yet, it's not the first time that vending machines have been used to reinforce loot rooms. Almost 2 years ago, Crips introduced a design where the loot room was accessible through a doorway which was blocked by a vending machine. Tronen has been using single vending machines to prevent raiders from climbing through the window into a loot room. On my Discord, Stino proposed the use of 2 vending machines to prevent incendiary rockets from burning through reinforced glass windows when this was still an issue. Rusteddy very recently showed me a trick by Crips where a single vending machine is used to block off a DC compartment with a single door frame. If all goes well, you might see this in use in his upcoming video. On the basis of the tests that Zedge, Rusteddy and I made, I conclude that this currently is the strongest of the vending machine loot room designs. If you plan to build the Mini Frustrator 2, I would highly recommend to use it instead of the one shown in the video. As always, I hope you found this video helpful and inspiring. Take care, Evil Wurst out.